Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a time when highways were mostly dreams, gas stations were rare, and yet someone said, "You know what I need? A house, but on wheels." I think that's exactly how the 1931 Tennessee Traveler Ford Housecar was born. Not from practicality, but from bold ambition and a serious dislike of uncomfortable hotels. I believe if this thing showed up today, my friend Timmy would try to rent it for a weekend and somehow return married again. So before we roll any further, subscribe to the channel, because here we don't just talk about vehicles, we tell stories about machines that make your neighbor question his life choices. The Tennessee Traveler was built in 1931 in the United States, based on the Ford model truck platform introduced in 1927. Ford provided the mechanical backbone, but the living quarters were crafted by an unknown specialist coach builder from Pulaski, Tennessee. This wasn't mass production, this was custom luxury. During the Great Depression, when most people struggled financially, a small group of wealthy individuals still demanded mobility without sacrificing comfort. That demand created vehicles like this, one-off builds tailored to clients who could afford both the chassis and the craftsmanship. Only a handful of such housecars were ever created, and the Tennessee Traveler is believed to be unique, with just one surviving example today. It now resides in a museum in Elkhart, Indiana, standing as a rare witness to early recreational travel. Back then, roads were unreliable and infrastructure was minimal, so owning a vehicle like this meant independence. It also meant patience, because reaching your destination took time and probably a strong sense of humor. Technically, the Tennessee Traveler is built around a 201 cubic inch or 3-liter inline 4-cylinder engine producing about 40 horsepower. The engine sits at the front, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission sending power to the rear wheel. I think the most impressive part is not the power, but the durability, because these engines were known to run even after years of neglect. The chassis uses a ladder frame design with solid axles and leaf spring suspension, both front and rear. Mechanical drum brakes handle stopping, which means you plan your braking the way my neighbor Bob plans his conspiracy theories, very early, and with great caution. The vehicle measures roughly 18 to 20 feet in length, around 216 to 240 inches or 5 to 6 meters, and weighs between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds. That is about 1,800 to 2,300 kilograms. Performance is modest, with a top speed of about 35 miles per h-hour or 56 kilometers per h-hour, and a comfortable cruising speed of 25 to 30 miles per h-hour, around 40 to 48 kilometers per h-hour. Fuel consumption sits near 10 to 12 miles per gallon, or approximately 19 to 23 liters per 100 kilometers. I liked the most that despite these numbers, it offered something far more valuable than speed. It offered comfort in a time when comfort on the road was nearly impossible. In the next part, we step inside this rolling wooden masterpiece and see why it felt more like a cabin than a vehicle. Stepping inside the Tennessee Traveler feels less like entering a vehicle and more like walking into a carefully crafted wooden cottage. The interior uses yellow pine flooring, with cabinetry built from oak and yellow poplar, finished with solid brass hardware. I believe the builder approached this project like a furniture maker rather than an automotive engineer. My friend Timmy once tried woodworking and ended up building a chair that only his ex-wife could sit on comfortably, which explains a lot. The layout is simple but effective. At the rear, a leather couch converts into a bed for 2 people. Along the driver's side sits a compact kitchen with a 2-burner stove, an icebox, and multiple storage compartments. Opposite, there's more storage and even a wood-burning stove for heating. I think this is one of the earliest examples of true off-grid living, where you didn't need electricity to feel at home. Compared to modern RVs, the Tennessee Traveler lacks speed and advanced systems, but in its era it competed with very few alternatives. Factory-built house cars were rare and expensive, so custom builds like this defined the market. It wasn't about convenience, it was about independence and status. My neighbor Bob would probably say it was built to escape aliens, but honestly, at 30 miles per hour, the aliens would catch up anyway. This vehicle also carries stories that sound almost mythical. When it was discovered in a barn in Alabama in 1999, the engine reportedly still ran. That's not a legend. That's just old-school engineering refusing to quit. Restoration took place between 2002 and 2003, preserving most of the original wood and hardware, which is impressive considering the age. Before we talk money, I think we can agree this machine deserves respect. It represents a time when travel was slow, deliberate, and surprisingly elegant. It proves that luxury is not about speed, but about how you live while moving. Originally, the Ford Model AA chassis cost around $600 to $700, and the custom conversion pushed the total price to roughly $2,000 to $3,700 in 1931. Adjusted to today, that's about $40,000 to $80,000, or approximately €37,000 to €74,000. There are no confirmed auction sales for this exact vehicle, but similar rare house cars can reach six-figure values at specialized auctions. Thanks to all our channel sponsors, you guys keep this show running smoother than a 1931 engine after 4 years in a barn. And as a final tip, if your friend invites you on a slow road trip, ask for the speed first, or you might arrive next week.